I'll tell you what, I can come up and stand, and if I can then also come back down here and watch some of it on here as well.
Yeah.
You get a bit of 50-50 of it.
But it blocks a bit for a bit. You've still got the other angle.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, to my mind, it isn't an issue.
No.
You know, I can't say that's what you should
Yeah,
do.
no, of
because
course.
That's okay. We need your honesty.
Yeah, thank you.
that's exactly what you get with. However, yes, you do need to come up to start with.
That's fine.
Because you're going to be listening to what we're saying. That arm is out of the way. It locked itself, so I think the easiest thing to do is just watch your elbow.
Yeah,
thank you.
Good.
Okay then.
So cool.
First thing I want to do is not text my friends, but get. Oh, could that? I always forget that. So it's clear it was. What was it? 70 hours, 32 minutes and 51 seconds since I last finished. Since I started my last flight. That's a couple of days or so ago.
Oh yeah.
Right then. Now, rudders. You know what the rudders are?
Yes.
On the floor there. If you just have a look in the left-hand one, you can
Yep.
see that disc.
Yes.
That is the brakes. Okay. Consequently, we do not want to be having our feet in the rudder pedals when we are taking off, because that won't get very far, will we? We don't really. I mean, you can play around with the rudders in flight if you like. Doesn't do a whole deal in this aircraft anyway. So that's really up to yourselves. It's not something that we encourage is perhaps the wrong word. It's not something that we instruct on, because it adds a whole level of intricacy that is just not required for this sort of flight.
Sure.
So would you normally fly with your feet off the rudder pedals? Or?
Yeah.
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 Okay, so that's
I would.
okay. Cool.
But of course you're going to need them for
You need them for-
you're going to for your takeoff run. So just make sure that you're very much heel and toe.
How do I move
I will
the seat?
sort you in a second.
Okay,
So
yeah.
just look, if you look at my feet, you can just make, because if you go any way in, you've got that chance of actually pressing the brake pedal.
Right.
So what I'm saying is we need to get you sorted mainly. Now don't put your feet in, as I say.
Okay.
No, literally, you can put them on, but don't put them in.
Oh.
But look at my toes, look at my feet. That's where we want them, because if you've got them in here,
Oh, okay.
you're going to be having the brakes on.
Right.
So you need to have your feet literally just pushing against the rudders rather than inside the rudder.
Right.
On landing, fine, you can do, because you want the brakes,
Okay.
but not on takeoff.
Okay.
Just see whether you can push it to its furthest extent for me. You still got a bit of bend left in your leg. It's
Maybe
just,
slightly closer.
yeah, I think you probably do need to do just one notch. There we go.
That's better.
Because we don't want to get too close to this. We want to be more comfortable with this than we do with the rudders,
Yeah,
because
sure.
we're going to use these for 0.5% of the time with the whole experience.
Yeah.
So just pull the control column all the way towards you, if you would, please. Is that comfortable?
Yep.
Okay, and all the way away. Yeah,
Yep.
still got a bit of bend in your arm, which is lovely. Right then.
Yep.
What I will do then now is go through the instruments and the control column and some hints and tips about the aircraft.
Sure.
What I will do is got a bit warm here, but we might.
Are the brakes fierce?
No.
They're not.
In a word, in a very, very quick word, no. I'll help, because you'll have forgotten the brakes when it comes to landing. Literally everybody does. So I'll be doing a little bit of assistance with braking on landing. Okay then, airspeed indicator.
Okay.
We are going to try and make this aircraft fly between 200 and 350 knots when we're manoeuvring.
Okay.
Alright? Doesn't like to fly much above 450 knots. Doesn't like to manoeuvre much above 450 knots. It's like turning a super tanker through sludge, really. So we're not going to want to do that.
Sure.
It just doesn't. We're going to still go Mach 1 in a straight line, but it doesn't want to turn. So for that reason, we're not going to be looking at the Mach meter.
Okay.
Because we should never see it move, not unless we are going to just say, right, we will go
Right.
fast in a straight line. Okay.
Got it.
If that moves, then whoever's in charge of the throttles has not done the job properly.
Right.
And if it's me, it's because I'm overloaded looking at something else.
Okay.
Radio altimeter, RADALT, as it's shortened to, only works below 500 feet off the ground. So consequently, if you are staring at this instrument whilst travelling at 400 feet above the ground at 350 knots in the hills and valleys of the Lake District,
Not very good news.
you're going to make a new valley there fairly quickly. I will then be talking to you about the heights. I will call out these heights to you. Okay?
Right.
Now, I'll say now that what you need to be doing is listening to how I'm calling them out,
Okay.
just as much as what I'm calling out.
Right.
Sure.
99.9% of people, once I say 200 feet, it's the first call out, reach for the skies. You'll know if I need to reach for the skies, but I'll tell you to pull up, and pull up
Right.
now, and you'll hear, if you don't, you'll hear my voice getting louder. Saying pull up.
Okay.
So you don't need to reach for the skies. What you need to be doing is listening to me. If I'm saying 100, 300, 200, you can hear you going down way too quickly. You
Yeah.
need to arrest that descent pretty sharpish.
Okay.
If I say 400, 350, 300, slowing to 250, then I'm telling you how you are controlling the descent, so you can hear how slowly or quickly you're going down. So listen to what I'm saying, how I'm saying. All right, with that, when we come to it.
Right.
Again, then though, another instrument not to look at. Another instrument I don't want you to look at, I'm afraid, is this, which is the rate of climb, rate of descent. The reason that I don't want you looking at it, certainly in the early stages, in fact, because you're only flying half each, probably not at all, is because there is a lag in that instrument showing what the aircraft is doing.
Right.
So between your input and the physics happening over the wings, and that showing what's happening, it might only be fractions of a second, all those various things, but unfortunately it's long enough for you to be chasing your tail
Right.
quite
Sure.
considerably up and down if you were to try to level it off.
Yeah.
So don't bother looking at that, because it's not going to give you up-to-date information. Come back to this. Actual altimeter, as you probably know, based on pressure above sea level, which is why it's showing us some feet off the ground when we're clearly not some feet off the ground. Now, the chances are you won't be looking at that, not because I'm telling you not to, but because I will probably only be saying to you climb or descend, not climb or descend to a height.
Sure.
Same principle with the compass next door,
Okay.
is that I'll be asking to go left and right.
Right.
Probably not left and right onto a heading of.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright? So I'm not saying not look at them,
No, but
you probably won't end up looking at them because there's no need.
Yeah.
Alright? We won't worry about this because this is to do with the rudders, and we don't need to do turn rates and things like that, so we're going to ignore those. Which brings us back here. Used an artificial horizon before in your gliding?
yeah.
Yeah? Okay. If you wish to use the artificial horizon, you are competent and confident with the artificial horizon, because let's face it, artificial horizons are only there to kill you. They are there to kill the uninitiated. Because what happens in the thick of it is, you go, that's the artificial horizon, alright? But in the thick of it, your brain goes, there, the wings. And of course, what will you do if your brain goes, there, the wings? You will put in exactly the opposite input that you need to do. Therefore, that device is there to kill you.
Okay.
For that reason, if you are not confident and competent anymore with that, certainly the person that hasn't flown before would not look at it. We want you to fly this visually. We want to look outside. We're going to treat the actual horizon as our best friend today.
Right.
At the moment, obviously we can't see it properly because of the trees, but at the moment it's situated in the middle of the windscreen, which is great. Trouble is, this aircraft flies quite nose up. Therefore, the horizon is going to be fairly low down in the windscreen.
Right.
Which does mean that the old adage of windscreen full of ground going down works really well. Windscreen full of sky going up doesn't necessarily work. But if you have a little look further up, see how blue sky it is, a little bit
Yeah.
further up the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So windscreen full of blue sky, aircraft going up. But what I will also do for you is very early doors in the flight, in both flights, is that once we've gotten to a heading west, I'll take control of the aircraft.
Right.
I will get it flying level for you, and what you then do is, I assume that you'll both end up looking out this side window.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you need to do is see where what the horizon lines up with that is
On the
fixed
window.
in your field of view.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got that that reference point, that datum point.
Okay.
We're not going to fly level too much, but what it will do for you is, if my left hand is the aircraft, right hand is the horizon. Horizon's up here, above that datum point. Aircraft going down,
Yeah.
and vice versa, aircraft going up.
Yeah.
And if you get that early on, it's going to make your control of this aircraft so much easier.
Okay.
And I mean so much easier.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the biggest thing that people do is they go and they're looking out and the horizon's just disappeared either up or down and they're doing nothing about it. You know, I'll ask the question, where's the horizon? Well, it's gone.
Right.
Well, why didn't you do something about it? Oh, right, yeah, yeah, okay. And then do it. If you have that datum point, it helps fix it in your mind that if it's moving away from that datum point and you're not expecting it to move away from that datum point because you're not planning on it sending, you need to do something about it.
Okay.
Alright?
Okay.
Horizon will also help you as far as your turns are concerned. If the horizon is slanted, you know that we're in a bank, we're in a turn.
Yeah.
Yep. A very simple way of being able to get out of a turn and bring wings level is to imagine the horizon as a hill and turn towards the bottom of the hill.
Okay.
It's a really simple way of doing it, and if you want, so that I look at people's face at this point and go, yeah, there's a little bit of confusion in your face.
It's almost
here.
counterproductive.
Okay.
Yeah. Counterintuitive.
And that's what I'm looking for in faces. So I'll move on to
Yeah.
the next thing, which I don't always do because sometimes this is counterproductive.
Yeah.
We'll come back to two hands.
Right.
Left hand aircraft, right hand horizon. The aircraft does that, the horizon looks like that.
Right.
So therefore, with that now being the bottom of the hill, if I was to turn,
yeah.
You go turn into it. Yeah.
that's what happens. Assuming you don't turn too far
Yeah.
and go back the other way, in which case that now becomes the bottom of the hill, so you turn back towards it.
Right.
Okay. That makes
That's
good.
kind of that helps. You
Yeah.
want to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Ah.
And what I don't want you to do is looking, because I am going to bring you back down to one instrument in a minute, because of course we do need to know what's happening when we can't see the horizon and we expect not to see the horizon,
Yeah.
which of course is in a
When you're
climb.
climbing.
Yeah. Takeoff, of course, is a prime example of that,
Yeah.
because the horizon will be down here somewhere.
Yeah.
So it really is that really does tell you about the turning and everything else. But coming back to the climb, etc. When we go through the takeoff, or any climb for that matter, what I want you to do is bring this, which is the pitch.
Yeah.
I just go straight up and down. Oops. I want you to bring that so it sits on the 10 line. So that's giving us 10 to 12 degrees nose up attitude.
Right.
Okay.
More important on a takeoff climb than necessarily later on in the flight where we may have more speed underneath us. But of course we are starting from zero,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So it's more important on takeoff, but it might as well stick with that 10%, 10 to 12%, so that you don't have to remember two things. Really. Sort of, yeah, just keep it simple.
Okay.
I won't put the extra S on the end. You know, okay.
Yeah, I keep it simple and simple.
Yeah, it's keep it simple, stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, kiss.
Yes, that's it. So that is also this here is the bank indicator. Little bubble, little circle. Go that way for banking left and that way for banking right.
Okay.
Now you might think I can look at that all day, keep the aircraft wings level. Yes, you can, and you might be able to do that. But the vast majority of people end up with the whole of the rest of the flight envelope disappearing out of the window on them because they narrow in.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're not getting to look at all these instruments, again with the greatest respect, is that if you haven't flown before, you haven't flown for a long time, you certainly haven't flown this aircraft, to be able to scan these instruments, all of them, take in the information that you need, process it,
Forget it.
and then, exactly. So it's not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not. It's not going to happen.
We do that so we can. It's like any job. You know,
Yeah.
you'd be able to, whatever you do for a living, that you wouldn't be able to do it at the beginning. You can now, hopefully. Okay, so then, how do we make the aircraft do what we need it to do? Down, up, left and right, but of course that's all in 3D, so you
Yeah.
can do anything at any point. You don't have to do one thing at a time. Sometimes it's better to do one thing at a time, but you don't have to do. A little tip for the non-flifer certainly is that, back to my hand being the aircraft, if we bank the aircraft to one way, bring the control column back to the neutral point, the aircraft will do that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Neutral only does not put any input into the aircraft. It just holds the aircraft in the attitude you
Right.
left it. So of course you've got to bring it back the other way
And then back it off.
and then back over again. Now that's important in a number of ways, so you know how to turn. The horizon's going to tell you that, it's going to be slanted or not. But it's important that you do not assume that when the control column is in the vertical position, the neutral position,
Yeah.
you're going straight.
Okay.
You're just not putting any input into the aircraft.
Yeah.
It's just in the attitude you left it.
So it's not like when you drive a car and the steering wheel goes straight, the wheels are straight. You've got to then like readjust it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
It's not quite the same as that. You know, I may talk to you about this. Flying the aircraft is just like steering a car in 3D,
Yeah.
and it is at times. But that bit isn't. That is different to the steering wheel. Because if you
Okay.
brought a car back to the centre,
Yeah,
the wheels you'd be going straight.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case because
You go where you last left it.
It's where you last put it.
Okay.
You've done that. If you keep on doing that, it'll just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. So you have to stop it. So it's
Right.
equal and opposite reaction sort of
Sure. Yeah.
affair.
Yeah.
And then
bring it back.
and then come back to bring it back, and then stop it again.
Okay.
Right.
That's fine.
Same for up and down, although not quite as much. All right.
Yeah.
And talking about up and down, this aircraft loves to go up,
Right.
does not like to go down.
Okay.
So unless you're doing very gentle up and downs, like keeping it level or changing the pitch down by about 2 degrees or so, all the way in. Okay. All the way in, and then you do one or two things. Well, whatever you do, I'll come to the one or two things in a minute. But once you've got the aircraft at the attitude you want it, then again you come out and stop the nose. Because if you left it like that, you just keep on going down.
Okay.
And going down. And going, you might even try to make it that way if you've got enough speed. It'd still do that.
Okay.
So you've got to stop. You put the aircraft into a position, stop it into a position, and then come back out of that position. So put it into a position, stop it into a position, come out of that position. I'll
Okay.
help you with that as we go
Okay,
through.
got it.
Okay.
And does it automatically come back to the neutral?
It will.
Yeah,
No,
if.
it'll come back a bit. I'm
If.
not gonna. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It won't come back laterally.
Okay.
Right. It won't come back laterally.
Okay. So you have to find that.
Yeah. But again, you're looking at that horizon. That's what's going to do it all for you.
Okay.
So be very, very aware of that nose down, okay? And believe me, nobody ever does. You'll still be doing this. You're trying to get the nose down, even though I'm telling you now, you've got to get. You'll still be doing this slow. No, push it in. And then you're doing one of two things. I told you about this up to 10 degrees, haven't I?
Yeah.
Again, you'll probably almost certainly get this above to 10 degrees on takeoff.
Right.
So if you need to bring it down, again, push it all the way in, but you'll still be looking at this, because all you're trying to do is bring it back down to the 10, so your horizon will never appear. If, however, we want to level it off, then of course the horizon will appear. So if you want to level it off all the way in and looking out for the horizon, when you see the horizon bob up, then you can
Right.
adjust it again accordingly.
And is it quite responsive?
You will find within about that range, it's quite fine movement. Go out of that range either side, and you can chuck it around like a fighter.
Right. Okay.
Depends on the speed, however. Got to be down about 250 knots to really chuck it around.
Right.
This is why I need the drink.
Some sort. Okay.
All right. I will give you 3 calls down the runway. Excuse me. First one will be 80 knots, airspeed alive. So 2 things. We're going to do a rolling start here,
Right.
and you will find that the faster we go, the greater input you will need from your rudders to go the same amount of left or right,
Okay.
which is a nightmare. because there's just no way that I can explain how much you need to press it at each point.
Okay.
It's literally increasing as the speed increases. All right. So
Right.
what 80 knots is telling you is, you're going 80 knots. You're going to have to push these quite a way in if you need to do it left or right.
Right.
But it's also telling you that now the control of the aircraft is transferred from the nose wheel steering down here through to the aerodynamic surfaces.
Got it.
Sure.
Next call will be decision. Now you've heard of V1 before?
Yep.
And the Vulcan Force were eminently sensible in my mind, because can you remember what you do at V1?
Not really.
You make the decision whether you
Oh, we
take
take
off or
off.
not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So the Vulcan Force went, well, sack this, why say V1 when we could say decision?
Okay.
That's what they do. So I shall say decision. However, I will make the decision now. We will take off. Pointless resetting back here. Just wastes your time.
Yeah.
I have taken off through that control tower in the past. We will take off.
Okay.
And I will then say rotate. Now rotate, of course, is the command to
Pull the
pull back the stick to get the aircraft in the air.
Put you right back.
I'm going to come on to that right now. Whilst we're running down the runway, you will have it in. Just because remember what I've said about
Keep
it wanting
the wheel
to lift,
on there,
so keep
yeah.
the wheel down. So you'll let it come out and just keep coming back about that sort of speed. Okay?
Okay.
So that sort of speed, but you do not come all the way back, because if you did that, we'll go vertically. We'll reverse then into the ground unless I can perform a miracle.
Okay.
And a couple hundred feet, it's going to be one hell of a miracle.
Yes.
So do not pull it all the way back, okay? But as soon as the nose is up, I'll call positive rate, I'll bring the gear up, but in the meantime, you've already started to look at this as soon as the nose has gone up, to sit it on that 10 degrees,
Right.
whilst keeping that exactly where it is, so we're not turning at all.
Okay. Happy? Yeah, I guess so.
As well as you ever got. Yeah,
There's a lot to take in, but there you go.
Even though you've got probably the longest time that we ever do anybody, we could use all of that time talking to you and just doing little bits here and there.
Oh, I'm sure.
It just doesn't, it's not worth it. We get you in the air and we will, because it doesn't matter if we crash, we're not going to kill anybody.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it going. We'll keep it going in the air.
Tried at stake, for God's sake.
There's an element in my product state trying to keep you in the air, but sometimes people do things which are just literally impossible to stop you from crashing the aircraft.
Okay.
Right, what I will do is
We will
we're
try not to.
going to do a rolling start, so I'm going to take the brakes off. So you can start to judge that feel of the left and right on the rudder pedals.
Right.
We sometimes set on the brakes so we could blast off down the runway. Don't need to here, with plenty of runway. So we'll do a rolling start. But what you are doing is you're going to take the throttles, all four throttles, all the way up to the top, and then you're going to listen. You're going to look outside, you know, your feet on the pedals and your hand on the control column. You need your hand on the throttles, of course.
Who controls the throttles?
You do. You're captain.
Oh, Christ.
You're captain.
Well, the first officer. He does the throttles.
No.
I'm the boss.
Not anymore. No. This is your experience, not mine.
What's the point of having a minion?
So the important thing is you're going to listen. Okay, but looking outside.
Right.
All right.
So,
Because you're going to hear just how slow these throttles take to get up to power.
right.
Because you need to know that, because in the hills and valleys again, if you were about to hit a mountainside
You need full
and
throttle.
decided to run to full power then, already dead.
So where's the power and the throttles normally kept in flight?
Out here.
About here.
Yeah.
So once you take it off, you bring it back. You'll tell me that.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. When I say throttle back, that'll be. If I say throttle back to the midpoint, it's not quite the midpoint, it's just under, as you've noticed.
Yeah.
It's unlikely I'll ever tell you to throttle back. I may throttle all the way back for you at some point in the flight, but it's unlikely that I will ever ask you to throttle all the way back.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Right. Quick prayer.
Yeah. let's get some power on, shall we? And ball sitting on the ground now. Let's go.
Well, you done?
Yeah. Away you
I'm
go.
all right. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. You just tell me what to do.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Get those throttles up. That's it. All the way. Don't be afraid and listen. We're only just starting to get power now. just starting to move. We're still only 60%.
Why am I moving left? Why am I moving right?
Because you're not pushing the left rudder in. Push the left rudder in. Push the left rudder in. No, left rudder. That's it, well done. Control panel doing nothing at the moment. Keep it going. And keep it nice and straight. Okay, 80 knots, there's speed of light. We're going to need more.
Why am I can't see the thing.
That is decision.
Okay?
And rotate. Alright. The reason why you can't see the thing, I assume after the runway, you didn't have the nose down. You had the nose come up. So as we're looking at the instrument panel, doing no, wrong way, push the nose in, you're going to reverse into the ground. You've done exactly what I said not to. You're going to reverse into the ground any second. I shall try to get us out of this, but the chances are, we won't.
Oh, found what the first hurdle took us. Oh my god, this
Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
No.
Oh, we're going to crash.
Yeah. I didn't think we were so low from the ground.
Oh, what did I do wrong?
That's a non-time of takeoff.
A number of things.
You were lying for God's sake.
What I'll do for you, I'll get us onto the heading that we need to be so I can talk to you and let you know where we are so that you don't do the same thing again, alright? I want us to get into a level flight. So you have the aircraft again now. Okay. It's really nice and straight. Okay. Yeah, first thing you did was didn't keep the nose down so you lost track of the horizon.
Yes.
And then when you took off, you kept looking outside, didn't look at
that. Okay.
Because you didn't look at that, you went up to 20 degrees.
Right.
Or in excess of. And when you tried to, when I said you were over 20 degrees, you didn't push the nose down, you pulled it up even more, which took us literally vertical.
Right.
At a few hundred feet.
Right,
Which is why I had no chance of getting out of it.
No good news. Okay.
So remember, forward is down, backwards is up, or if you like, down, ever so slightly down is down, and it's the control ever so slightly up is up.
Okay.
Alright.
So now I'm tilted to the left.
Did you say you are tilted to the left or you are going to tilt it to the left?
It looks like I am tilted to the left.
No, you're going in a right hand turn at the moment.
Am I? Okay. Ah, yeah. So I need to go slightly left. From here.
Yeah. But what you're looking at?
I'm looking at this.
Yeah, which is when I said to look outside, because you've done exactly what I said. You've tried.
And the ball! Oh my god!
Not only did you not change that, because you were looking at that, you'd let the nose go back up again. So we're climbing again, which we don't particularly want to.
Push forward.
Yeah. Well, look at this, let's look outside.
Can't see a thing.
No, that's because you're going up. You just push the nose down until you can see something. Remember what I said about pushing the nose down?
Yeah.
All the way. And there's the horizon.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you can see, now I can see, now to the right turn. Because you keep, what's the windscreen full of now?
Hang on. I'm going down now.
Yep.
Oh my god. I want to do that.
So if you're going to do one thing or the other, we need to stop us making a big hole in the ground.
I'm going down.
Yeah. Then do something about it.
I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up. Okay.
Alright, well I said about that, that's it.
Yeah.
Now we're still in the right turn. So let's get these winds over to the left. Watch that horizon. No, that's right. Watch the horizon, steer it straighten up.
Yeah. Okay.
And we have to stop it going over. So if you don't stop it, it's going to keep on going over to the left. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Now because we went so far to the right,
Yeah.
I needed to actually turn left now because we're going off in the wrong direction. So do a left hand turn, if you please.
Okay. Let's bring the nose up a bit.
Okay, let me ask you.
Don't stall it.
No, not necessarily. Can I ask you why you asked me about bringing the nose up a bit?
Because I was looking down.
Yeah,
The horizon's going up.
correct. So you absolutely do. It's nothing that you've done wrong.
That's just what the airplane does.
So that's what the airplane does, yeah. So yes, you do indeed need to pull. That's why I wanted to ask you the question, why. I needed to know whether you knew why you needed to pull back. So yes, you absolutely do need to pull back. Okay, come out the turn now if you would. Come out the turn. You're still turning, see?
Yeah, you're going to turn the other way.
That's correct. So to stop that turn going.
Okay.
Now also down a bit. Exactly that, because of course you're no longer turning, therefore the aircraft is no longer wanting to get down. So you don't need the colloquial term back pressure. You do not need that back pressure anymore.
Okay. What was confusing me was this is curving and the horizon is horizontal. So I'm just looking at that.
Well, what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to do that, get the horizon level. In fact, what we'll do is we need to get over these hills. Can you see what's happening at the moment?
Yeah,
Now?
I'm going down.
Yeah, so let's not make a hole in the ground.
No. I'm going to clear those things down.
What we need to do, because you see, as soon as you get that nose up too much, you lose track of where you're going. So it needs to be just enough. No more than just enough. Yeah, we're going up. That's how low we are.
It looks like I'm going right.
Right, going ever so slightly right, yes. Now, unless you're wanting to fly really low, I'd be a little bit more concerned with the fact that hill in front of you is climbing than whether you're turning left or right.
Oh, what a shame the filters. The sheep are a bit of a scare.
You have, in fact, actually gone more right than you were.
Yeah. Let's go left with it.
That would be a good idea if you don't want to go right, yes.
Okay. Alright.
Now we're climbing quite substantially now. We don't need to do that. Because you'll also find once you come out the climb that you are no longer turning right, you are indeed turning left.
Okay. Alright. Horizon, where are you? Ah, here we go.
Alright.
I can see a bit of horizon. Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait to do this level flight until we're over the hills, because there's going to be a little bit of it won't be quite right if we do hills, because they look quite straight, don't they?
Okay, fine.
It's because you are putting such tiny risks.
Okay, I've got a flight like
You're actually
beating.
you've got to boss the aircraft.
Okay.
Let me show you that. Let me take control for a second.
Okay, you have control.
I have control. Okay, so what you're doing is you're doing this. You look at the control point, you're doing this. Alright? Do that.
Okay.
Alright? Make it well, look at the front.
Okay.
Look at the front now.
I'm just being kind.
Come back.
Okay. Oh, that's actually fun then. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Alright. I'm just being kind. Don't be kind. Be your boss.
What I do want you to do though is turn a little bit to the left for me.
Okay. Makes it like a sports car.
Yeah.
It is a sports car.
She might be a big old girl, but she can do quite well. Just straighten up now, even though you already were. That's fine. Get that nose down again for me. And we'll just take on a little bit of a history excursion want you to bring the nose down so you're actually descending now. We're over the high ground. So bring the nose down so we descend. Down so we descend.
Oh, down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can turn around like.
Yeah.
Okay. That level?
We're not launching a level, I want you to descend.
Oh, descend?
Yeah, fine. So that's about fine. I think what we actually need to go to is that patch of clear. No, that's a bit too fast. Given how low we are.
Rolling one.
You're on a kamikaze run currently, you're not just on the fighter.
Okay.
And you're probably going to go over those trees about 50 foot.
Oh, that's enough.
And you pulled up a little bit, you went actually went over like 100 foot, well it's because you actually raised the nose slightly.
Okay. That's it.
Get that nose down again, not to descend but down so you can see in front of you. And over to the left for me, to that lighter patch of ground over there. So
Okay.
A little bit wind's over to the left, so you can actually see out your side window.
Yeah.
Bit wind's left a bit, that's right, we go to the left. Look at your side window, should see it. See this an airfield?
Yes. Oh yeah.
There, you see this an airfield, see?
Yeah. Down there.
Yeah, that's Woodford in the process of being made into a housing estate. Woodford Airfield was where the airfield was designed and built and test flow. So hence the history lesson.
Yeah, that's dreadful. Can't be a housing estate.
I'm afraid it already is. Now then, a right turn for me please, Malcolm, if you would be so kind.
The road goes up.
Beware of your nose going down. Currently going down at 2,000 feet a minute. And as we're only at 800 feet.
Oh, good idea.
Not really.
Not much,
Not really. Now you are very good at coming out the turn before you tow, aren't you?
well, am I?
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
No, it's extremely bad. Because I'm trying to take you somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So, get back in that right
Going
turn.
right.
And what tends to happen is now, you have to do a tighter right turn because you've already come out the turn.
Okay.
Watch the nose going down, we're really low now. We are going to hit the
Where are we?
We're going to hit the button in a second. That wasn't a good time for my voice to disappear when I said we're going to hit the
Oh, no, we don't do. I don't like this.
Okay, let me give you a little, very, I mean this is, let me just, you can stop the turn now by the way.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a really crude, now stop the turn, still turn it. And we don't need to climb, just keep the aircraft nice and level. Another quick way of checking whether you're turning or not is look out of both side windows.
Yeah.
Look at yours and look at mine.
Yeah.
Have you got about the same amount?
No.
Okay, so that gives you an indication that you're turning.
Okay.
That's like turning right. Is that of interest? Manchester looks down there.
Okay.
Get the nose down though, because we're climbing quite a bit. A very, 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 very crude rule of thumb when you're turning is that if you can see in all three of the windows 2/3 or more of the horizon, you're going down.
Right.
And of course you're slanted. If you can see about half the horizon in all three windows, in other words from the middle outwards,
I'm still tilted this way.
you are. I don't think you're with me here, are you?
Sorry?
I'm talking about the turns. Did you
Yeah,
get that?
sorry.
Yeah. Just watch the descent. In Right, I'll come back to that in a minute. Turn over to see the cooling towers over there to the left hand side. So you can get just over the top of those cooling towers.
Okay. Come on.
I'm going to let you do it because I want you to see whether you can aim it at the right place, the aircraft. Because you'll learn from this. You'll either go, yes, I've done it, or you'll either be too left or too right of it. And in which case, next time you aim at something, you'll be able to alter your judgment accordingly. Yeah, well, do something about it.
Okay.
Massively nose up.
Yeah, just clip that big one.
You've probably got about 1,000 foot below you.
Oh, good.
I think you probably actually went over it in the end, but it was quite a weavy turn. But I think you did go over it.
I did go over it, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did. Can't absolutely be sure because it was underneath us and the nose was up. Alright. Let the nose come down a little bit. Don't go into a turn. Put my nose down to the left, right. Okay, can you see over there? See the runway? Over to the left hand side.
Yeah.
Just on the coastline?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See the white blob, the white light at the end of the runway?
Yeah.
That's called PAPIs, P-A-P-I, Precision Approach Path Indicators.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But ours is the same idea, visual approach slope indicator. What they are lights, either red or white.
Okay.
You can see how they're white at the moment. That means that we're too high. If we were landing at Liverpool's airport, we would be too high.
Okay.
If they were all red, we're too low. If we're a combination, we're there and thereabouts. What we're looking for is one red on the right hand side and three white.
Oh, okay.
Now you saw where the light was, it was at the very bottom left of the runway, it wasn't very front left. Yes?
Yeah.
I want to tell you that now, so a little later, when we come to land,
I get that right.
you've already got it in your head where the runway is in relation to those lights, yeah?
Don't rely on it, okay?
Now you can go right down the coast, please. This is the Mersey estuary.
Okay.
Just get close to the water, that's 200 feet off the ground. 140, 120.
Okay.
Now pitching the nose up too much is also just as concerning because you saw what happened on takeoff.
Yeah.
Now because we had speed underneath us already, that turn that you did that went nose up so much didn't really matter because we already had some speed behind us. But if we'd left us going that nose up for that length of time, then the speed would have bled off. Yeah. Now then, let me take the aircraft for you.
Okay. Yeah,
Alright, so right, what we'll do is we'll get that level flight for you. Now you see they've got a really good horizon in front of you now, haven't you?
Yep.
So I'll get the aircraft into level flight. So I think it's going to be little bit of turn, so I'm just going to take the turn off first. There is level flight, okay? You got it fixed?
Yep.
Alright, so you know where it's aligned to?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so long as you know where it is, you now know where, when that horizon is on that datum point, you know it's level.
Right. Drifting slightly up.
Correct. Well done.
Well, that's reassurance for me, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you see immediately you've got that datum point, immediately we're starting to not be quite as up and down as we were before. What else does the horizon tell you?
Horizontal?
You are not horizontal.
I'm not horizontal,
It's
no.
higher that, for that. Now don't rejig it, because we actually do want to go right.
Okay.
So you can go a little bit more right.
Okay.
But it's more that I just wanted to make sure that you were aware
Yeah.
of that. Okay, nose is dipping down.
It is.
Right, that crude rule of thumb which I really need to get into you is, if you're listening now, if you've got 2/3 or more of the horizon in view out of all the windows,
Yeah.
you're going down. If you've got about half the horizon in view of all the windows, you're about level. If you've got 1/3 of the horizon or less in view, you're going up in the turn.
Okay.
Obviously,
Not to remember.
yeah. There's miles to remember. Yeah, there's so much to remember. I don't expect people to remember it.
No.
Ariefwood Vale, just out of interest, down on the right-hand side.
Still turning right. Is that good?
You follow the coast, remember? So just keep on the coast, that's fine.
Very good.
Now, how would you like to try to do some really low-level flying? While it's relatively safe.
What the hell?
Alright then, well let's just turn a little bit into the water then.
Into the water.
Towards the sea.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the reason for that is that although I've managed to get the aircraft back again after that crash before, there's more to the fact that we're on a fairly level patch of ground and a bit of luck than anything else. Because of course when we crashed, there was no luck in the way that, there's no skill in the way that I crashed it. We just crashed.
Yeah.
But I was just ready for the aircraft when it bounced. But on water, the aircraft always bounces. Always, doesn't crash. So even if it touches the water, we'll just bounce up again. Alright, so listen to me now, listen very carefully. That's 350, 300, 250, 200, 150, 100, 80, 60, 40. You never did anything. You never moved at all until you hit the water.
I did it.
You did not, I was watching your hand, I was going to let you crash because I knew that we crashed. You hit the water. Your hands never moved.
Okay.
Alright, so let's try that again, shall we? You've got no really nose up. And this time actually react to what I'm saying with the heights.
Okay. Too delicate.
No, you weren't, you just didn't. There's no delicacy in the moment. You're frozen.
Frozen.
So keep it back on the water, because you can see what happens when it hits the water. That's the reason why I'll let you hit the water.
Right.
So you're in turn as well, as you can see.
Okay, right on left.
Right, you're in turn to the right, you see by the horizon. That's it. So let the aircraft come down. Don't massively rapid it. No,
Dad, you've got any problems?
no, you're going more to the right now.
Okay, right on.
Right, you're in a massive right turn apparently. So we can't really go too low now because we're now heading back inland and we're still turning right. So you need to come out that right turn, so we're going to go in a circle.
Okay. And the houses.
Look at that horizon. Just get the horizon, keep it in sight and get the horizon straight. Turn your left, we're going up. You're not alter the nose pitch at all. That's better, there you go. Aircraft's coming round now. It's coming round to level, so be prepared to come out of it. Don't go too far. Well done. Now we're still going down a bit because that horizon must be above your data
It
point.
is indeed.
Yeah. However, let the aircraft come down gently because we've got sea in front of us. We'll try that low level again.
Okay.
Don't descend too quickly. So slow the descent so as we are going to make a splash. Slow the descent.
That's pretty well.
Slow the descent.
Fantastic. I am.
No, you're not.
I'm sorry. No, go on.
Right, try again.
Right.
Here in the background, the ever-increasing panic in the Okay. Now then you're holding 150 feet, slowly going to 140, 120, 100, 80, don't let it go down, 60, don't let it go down, 40, but don't pull up for the skies, we're now going up at 15 degrees. I think we might struggle at this level flight business down there. I wanted to try it because you're going to need it in the lakes, you see, but we are quite a long way in the flight. What I am going to do, however, is because you had all the info at the beginning, you're not going to have any info. I'm going to make this flight a little bit longer.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So then you both get that at the same flight.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Real watch what you're doing. Go down again quite rapidly. You're going down rapidly at the moment. And you hit the water. Right, what we're going to do is now, we're going to climb a little bit. I want you to now look at your instruments.
Yep.
Leave it no more than that and get that straight. So don't let it go up anymore. Don't let it go up anymore, it's still going up. Bring that over to the right a little bit at the same time. No, that's my fault. No, that was my fault. That's it.
That's okay.
So that's enough there. So keep bringing the nose down. That's enough now. So level off, so looking out the front. Push the nose in. Push the control column in. Watch the nose come down all the way, remember? Yeah, all the way. Wait for the horizon to appear. And then level it off. There you go. Okay there. Right. We are almost directly headed for Lake Windermere.
Okay.
You see the estuary to the left hand side there.
Yes.
And you see the estuary, the smaller estuary to the right hand side.
Nope.
Drop the nose a little bit and you'll see it. See it to the right hand side, smaller estuary to the right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And straight inland is a very small patch of blue.
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes.
That's Lake Windermere. However, before you go to that, see that island there?
Yeah.
That's where we're going to land, at the very top end of that island later.
You're kidding.
No, not the slightest. We're going to come over that hill in the distance.
Right.
So we're going to come the other way. So just so that you can recognise it later.
That tiny island's in the middle there.
No, that big prawn shaped
one, okay.
prawn shaped island.
Okay.
In fact, you can just see the poppies from the runway.
Oh, was it the lighter kind of thing at the end?
That white blob you can see,
Yeah.
it's full of poppies. Don't let the nose come up now. What I want you to do now is put the nose down and aim for Lake Windermere. Do not want to get any wetter than we already have done by that statement, but aim for Lake Windermere, which is slightly off the nose to the right now. Yeah, over to the right. Okay, at the moment you're now going to crash into the sea.
No, I'm going up.
Yeah, and the Lake Windermere's over there. Rather over there.
Moved it.
Just that's still visible over there. See, it's a small patch of blue.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So don't turn any more than that, or else you're going to go somewhere completely different. Get the nose down, not up. Get the nose down, still going up, and we're still turning left. So nose down, over to the right, nose down, nose down. So, there it is. You see it again? No. Almost straight ahead.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
So that's your target now. What I want you to do is gently descend towards Lake Windermere so that you're very low when you get to the front end of it. It's like a practice landing, although it says the same, it's not going to get wet.
Right.
Now the trick is to have your target just in view at the bottom of the windscreen, so clearly at the moment it's up there. You're going to hit the ground in about 5, 4, 3, there we go. Don't need to turn, just pull back up again.
Now I can't see it.
No, it's over to the right. Because you've got your nose up. So slightly go over this high ground. Don't need to get it up much more than you are. Now the nose has gone down, you do.
Right.
You're going to hit that. So just gently. That's enough. It probably will get over that. It'll get over that, definitely. So we need to be just doing this just enough all the time. Just enough.
Okay.
Now you wait till you come over the high ground. And then push the nose down and you can see the lake again.
Okay.
You can see the landing is going to be
Interesting.
tricky.
Okay.
Okay, with the high ground in front of you, you're going to hit it, you don't pull up. That's it.
Okay.
Now, keep it in sight. The sense is much better now. Just slowly creeping from a descent into an ascent. Try to be aware of that. Watch the water, watch the water, watch the water. Don't pull up too much, that's better. Still a no, that's actually a lot better because you did overreact, but then you compensated for the overreaction.
Yeah.
However, you're going back down again towards the water, and we've got hills not towards us. So it's good to get up and over that.
That's a hill bit, that.
Well, I was giving the benefit of the doubt, a little bit lower.
I could see it.
But what I am going to do now, you don't need to massively pull back because that's going to really reduce the speed. It's also going to stop your forward view.
Yeah.
If you ever feel the need to do that,
Yeah.
it's too much.
Okay.
Never ever need to do that.
Okay.
Well, you only ever need to do that if you're about 3 foot away from the hill in front of you. In that case, yes you do. What I'm going to let you do, because with great respect you're struggling a little bit here, I'm not going to tell you where to go.
Okay.
That takes out that outer layer of which valley did he mean, which hill did he mean, which did he go left or right. You just choose. Choose where you go.
No, you can keep telling me, don't worry. I'll get the hang of it.
I do this. No, I actually do it with everybody. I do this with everybody anyway. Because you might as well. There's no point pretending where to go.
Okay.
It's quite literally with everybody. I do this. It's freeing. I do, however, say some things. If I spot something like that there, see, look how the lake opens to the right-hand side.
I can't really quite see that.
Wings to the right, dip the nose down. Wings to the right, dip the nose down. Now can you see it?
Yeah.
So what would be nice is a nice diving turn into it.
Okay.
But missing all the high ground in front.
This is in front.
Because the fun bit's low down.
Okay.
But don't get me wrong, no, I literally do this with everybody. Because it's quite freeing. Even the people that can really fly massively well, it's quite freeing just to fly around, not have me talking at you. I want to say, once you dip the nose down, you don't want to hit that high ground in front. your nose up, see how much you've got nose up.
Yeah.
What I would like to do though now, wait, hang on a second, I might change my mind.
Yeah. Sticking where we are.
No, let's have a massive left turn if you don't mind, please. And let the aircraft climb at the same time. Let the aircraft climb, that's the other way to climb. Climb. And flat the turn. No, whatever you don't do that.
Sorry.
You have control of it now. If we'd done that in real life, that would have been, I'd change on the pants time out. Let's keep that left turn going because we're not left turning anymore. Don't let it come down, we're trying to climb over. Keep that nose up. That turn now, and you can level off as well.
Okay.
So come out the turn, no more, don't turn anymore and level off. We're going to a big right turn now. We don't want to turn at all, we want to level off. So come out that right turn, come out to the right turn. And level off, level off this turn. Turn. See the coastline coming up at you in front of you?
Yeah.
We're not going to cross the coastline, we're going to turn left before we get to it. We're not going to turn left just yet.
Okay.
We're going to turn left before we get to it. And we're going to try and find something. Remember I told you about that hill?
Yeah.
We'll try and find that hill before we turn. Try and keep the aircraft level. Over there is the hill that we need. So look through that window there. See the hill over the distance?
Yeah, kind of.
That way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. We are going to go over the top of that hill.
Okay.
But before you turn,
Yeah.
we're going to go towards the coast and then run parallel to the coast and come over the top of the hill.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Mistakes in the video.
That's your job. Start that left turn now. Don't let the aircraft nose go down, remember? Going back inland.
Oh. Yeah.
So let's come back out of that again. And let's go over to the right quite a bit because the coast is over there. We're going to forget that hill now because we've come too far.
Alright.
So keep the nose up. Keep the nose up. Straighten up nice and quickly now. Straighten up nice and quickly. Straighten up, straighten up, straighten up. Still a big turn, straighten up. It's enough. Don't be back the other way. Put the nose down so you can see. Don't descend, but don't ascend. Alright, now. You can still do this a little bit. See the hill now?
Yes.
So don't turn away. Don't let the nose go down. Don't let the nose go down. Bring it up. That's it. Going to gently turn, and I mean gently, so you go over the top of that hill. Okay. Alright, just very, very gently. Tiniest of turns.
Definitely good thing for you to look at here, but you're going to try and make the same approach. All being well.
Now the gentlest of turns, we're going to turn over the top of the hill, not inside the hill. We're aiming to go over the top of that hill, so as I say, the tiniest of turns.
Oh wow. Not too far.
Don't let the aircraft come down. It's critical you don't let the aircraft nose go down. It's going to try and land this aircraft.
Okay.
If we get down too low too soon, we're in big trouble. Try to keep it straight rather than zigzag. We're never going to get anywhere near the runway.
Sorry.
Keep looking outside. I keep bringing it round. Get the hill now. Straighten the aircraft now, nice and quickly. Put the nose down so you don't lose the track of where you're going. Just let it keep so don't let the nose go down. Leave it in this gentle turn. And there's the island, remember? I said we're going to approach from the other way around.
Yes.
Okay. Can't see the runway. No, don't turn. So leave it in the gentle left turn. And you put it back in that gentle left turn that it was in. Don't let the nose go down though. Don't let the nose go down. Still going down. Still going down. Still going down. Move it. That's it. Just keep that island just in view. Yeah. I can see the runway. Straighten the wings up now. Straighten the wings to the right. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Straighten them back again to the left, because we're now in the right turn. Gently round to the left now. I can't see the runway, but you probably won't be able to just yet. Don't let the nose go down, then what I said, just keep it inside. Bring the nose up. Bring the nose up. That's enough. No more than that, no more. You see the light appearing now? That blob. Straighten the wings up, you're going to a turn again, straighten the wings up. Keep the nose gently down. See the blob?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, don't turn to the right then, because we don't need to do that. We need to head straight for that blob now. That blob is at the bottom, the front left I should say, of the runway. You're still turning right, away from the runway. Come back, come back. And we will have to land off this approach.
Okay. I can't see the block, to be honest with you. It's a kind of orangey thing there, Dad.
Bring the nose up a little bit. Bring the nose up, bring the nose up.
My eyes are crap.
You might be using that middle window.
Sorry?
Is it the middle window you can see it maybe? You see it that orange?
Oh yeah, I see the orange thing.
Yeah, that's what you're aiming for, I think.
Oh right.
A little bit
Oh,
up to the
right.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Try and keep that nose up, because you remember what I said about the colours?
Yeah.
We're all red at the moment, which means that we're too low. Now you're putting the aircraft down again. Bring the nose up. Don't go into a turn, because you're turning away from the runway. Get that nose up. No, don't turn right. Don't turn right at all.
Okay.
You need to go to the left to go to the runway. You need to go to the left to go to the runway. Now just come out that turn now. Then come out the turn. Push the nose, that's enough now. Don't turn anymore. Leave the wing straight. Nose down a touch. Nose down a touch. Okay, just keep the runway visible. We're approaching a little bit from the right. So bring the nose up. Remember what I said about your target? You're going to just do an ever so slight right turn. Let the aircraft go straight till you get in line with the runway. Then you bring it round to the right.
You see the
Nice and straight.
You see the runway?
No.
Right in front, right in front. Let it come down now. Let it come down.
Right to the orange, right to the orange side.
Let it come down. We're still not coming down.
It's over here, over on your left, over on your right, Dad.
Oh yeah, I can see it there. I'm way too far over.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
I know, I saw
A little bit. No, it's all right.
It's
Just,
all right.
just pull up a little bit. Yeah, we'll just let it land on the grass here. No, just let it come down. You're going back up again now. You need to make it go down. Your hands haven't moved. So just gently, slow the descent into a landing. I know we're going through the trees. Push down now. Push forward. Push forward. Not quite so hard.
And into the house.
That's what happens. I won't let us go into the estuary.
There we go.
But did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed that tremendously. Yes,
Good.
my eyes are locked.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's absolutely. As long as you enjoyed it,
Oh yeah,
that's really all that matters.
that was awesome.
This is not a flying lesson.
No, but
It's an experience.
it's hard work. It really is hard work.
It's hard work.
Because it doesn't do what you want it to do immediately. You've got to get your mindset around the fact that there's all these delays and
Well, as I said to you at the beginning of the flight, I don't want to be rude, but there aren't delay. The only delay is in the throttles and in this.
yeah.
It's not a delay because, as I've kept telling you, quite a long way through the flight,
Yeah.
I'd asked you to do something, your hand would not move.
I know. Yeah.
So the only delay is the
I've just
delay
been too timid.
that you're building into the.
You just get too timid.
Yeah.
You've got to really attack it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right then.
I was too timid.
Shall we swap round?
Yeah, let's swap round. That
Do
was
more
awesome. Thank you.
All right.
It's really interactive, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's really like when it stops, you already feel like you're in flight when it's going. It's mental.
oh.
Even though there's no actual movement,
I know.
it really does make you think that you are.
That was quite fun.
Woo! Okay.
If I don't crash within the first 5 minutes, I'm done better than you, so I'm happy with that.
Don't worry. It wouldn't take much to be better than me. I can assure you of that.
Right, let's give this a go.
Were you here most of the time?
Oh, the entire time, yeah.
Okay.
I kind of sometimes I would look at the screen just to see whereabouts we were to get a bearing, but
Right.
that's quite good.
Okay.
Perfect, yes.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Stick
probably.
to it.
I would say you're probably a bit close there. Looking at your long legs, just a touch back.
How's
Okay.
that?
So control column all the way in. That's out.
Oh, sorry.
That's in.
In.
Actually, no. Have you got any bend left in your arms?
A little bit.
Okay. As long as, of course, if you've got no bend left in your arms, then you're having to push with your body as
Yeah.
well, which changes your eye.
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah. No, that's
So I
fine.
don't want to have to do that. Don't
Sure.
disconnect iPad. That's not funny. Thank you. But yeah, but it looks like you're fine there.
Yep, sounds good.
That's a good job another way. We may have to do something to get to Moscow, because I need this to get to Moscow.
That's right.
But if we can't do that, then we can do something else with your time.
Sure.
But I shall play around with this in flight to try to get it back again.
That's all right.
But in the meantime,
It's really cool, isn't it?
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So good.
okay, I'll have to just unpause this in a different way. Okay, do you want me to go through anything at all?
Could you just quickly go over the basics, but like very briefly, rather than going over in
Okay.
detail, please?
Down,
Down.
up, hang on. All right, I thought it clocked on something, that's fine. Left and right.
Left and right, okay.
Remember, you put it into a position and
Yeah.
holding it and hand to come back the other way,
Okay.
whether that's up or down.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Brake, isn't it?
Brakes in the left hand, don't worry about it, you'll forget about the brake by the
Okay.
time you get to landing. So just keep your foot away from it. But
Away
you're
from
going to
it.
have your feet just touching. So you're pushing them rather than pushing your feet inside. You're literally just pushing the front of the.
Okay.
Uh,
Just like almost touch.
yeah, you're going to get those 3 calls.
Okay.
The amount of input you require.
Yep.
It's going to increase as the speed goes. So
Okay.
exactly the same amount of turn left or right.
Sure.
80 knots, airspeed alive. Then I'll say decision. Then I'll say rotate. As you're going down the runway, That's in.
Okay.
As I say rotate, you let it come out, and just going a little bit more.
Okay.
Watch the nose come up, I'll call positive rate, bring the gear up, and then you're looking at this, 10 to 12, well, sitting on the 10, so it's 10 to 12 degrees,
Okay.
keeping that nice and straight.
Okay.
Yeah?
Right. That's good to go.
Okay. Alright, are you ready then, Captain?
I think I am. Let's see what it's like.
So, throttles all the way up for me, please.
Throttle this thing. Throttle.
These are the throttles.
Okay.
Okay, this is the control column.
Yeah.
These are the throttles.
Okay.
Now, just from your little movements there,
Yes.
please forgive me, I'm going to make an assumption. It might be a sweeping assumption.
Okay.
You look like you're going to be quite heavy-handed, and we need not to be heavy-handed in the
Okay.
sim, all right?
Okay.
Because if you start banging and crashing it,
Yeah.
then we're going to start breaking things.
Okay, that's fine.
And your sim experience is going to end,
Yeah,
as
sure.
well as everybody else's.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I don't
gentle
want,
with it.
I don't want yours. Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can go to the extremes. It's
Yeah.
no problem going to the extremes, but you're not going.
Don't
you're not going
slam it.
really quick to the extremes.
Sure.
all right?
Okay.
So just when you did that, then we were really quiet. So please don't. You know,
Okay.
I'm not wishing to be rude.
Yeah, no,
I want
that's
to make
fine,
sure that you
obviously.
can finish your experience.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. It's fine.
Right then. So throttles these are
Forward.
4 engines.
Okay.
Control column.
Control column. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the
Rudder
rudder
pedals.
Okay.
Fine.
Fine. That should be good.
Please, I mean, yes, you're going second. Sometimes things you do forget. So it's completely up to you whether you want me to go through things again.
Okay.
So
Thank
if
you.
you need me to go through things again, you must let me do it.
Okay,
You must,
thank you.
must tell me to do it, I should say.
That's fine. Thank you
All
very
right?
much. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So it goes.
If you're ready, full throttle. Listen. And there's that lag.
Yeah.
Remember that I talked about before?
Yeah.
Keep looking. Keep steering with your feet now. That's it. Keep it going. Keep it nice and straight. Nicely done. Keep it just, yeah, that's going really well. 80 knots, airspeed alive. No, not pulling back just yet. We'll wait for rotate. Now decision. And rotate. So now you pull back. Watch the nose come up. Watch the nose come up. Keep going through, make the nose come up. Okay, now we have a positive rate climb, bring the gear up. Looking at your instruments now, wait for that to sit on the 10 line. Stop it on the 10 line. Keeping that nice and central. A little bit over to the left now. Well, got bragging rights already. Okay, that's slightly low. It doesn't matter actually. We're at 5,000 now, so I'd quite happily level off.
Yeah.
So push the control column all the way in, make the nose come down, look outside the front now, wait for the horizon to appear. Right, it's going to appear any second. There it is. So level it off. Well, what don't you need anymore?
Sort of.
Bring them back before we get too fast. Bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more. That's it. All right, cheers. Thanks very much, Keith. Are you practiced okay? Did you practice go okay?
Yeah, well, I took the three of them in there, three of them like, so see what I knew, what I didn't know.
Well, when is it? Tomorrow?
Again,
Tomorrow?
Friday, but I think I'm real well now, but I'll practice tomorrow as well.
Alright, well all the best for Friday. Okay then, shall we get that level flight sorted out?
Yes.
So remember, I mean you do pretty well to be honest, without it, but it's still good to have it. So remember, you're looking for that dating point in the window.
Which is the dating point? Whereabouts is that?
That, I can't tell you that because what it is, it's yours. So whenever I tell you the aircraft is level,
Yeah.
with your viewpoint, it will line up with something.
Sure.
It might be a scratch, it might be a rivet, it might be a point on here, it might be that, I don't know,
Yeah.
because it's whatever it is for you.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
So I'll take it. level flight. Although hang on a second, when I let the aircraft drift a bit right, so that will give you a slightly skewed view of it. So let's do that again. Come on, come down. And we are there. That's level flight there.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you got it?
Loads up this bit, yeah.
Okay then. So it's all yours to go. So now you know where it is. If the horizon's above that point, nose going down. Horizon below that point, nose going up.
Okay. I like to think.
Alright, so let's see whether you've got it right, because I want you to put it into level flight for me. Although actually, no, first I've just realised we should have turned. So I made, before we do that, let's get a right turn going.
Okay.
And then you can do that. So right turn, that's left.
Sorry, yeah.
The other right, there we go. A little bit more if you can. That's it. Remember what happens when you turn, the nose goes down.
Yeah.
So pull back a little bit just to stop the nose from going down. Okay then, if you want to come out that turn, forward please. You may have to turn again, but I need to see how quickly you come out turns. Okay, once you've got it level, let's get the aircraft into level, straight and level flight. Using your data point, you tell me when you think you've got it.
Around here, I think it's level. Down a touch.
No, that's the wrong way. We're all good, so it needs to be a little bit higher.
A little bit higher, okay.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. The aircraft nose needs to be higher, but the horizon needs to be lower.
Okay.
Yeah? So just a touch. It's probably going to be about there, but we're transiting through. We're also doing the right turn.
Oh, that.
So that may well not help. That is,
How's that?
that's a touch low. So nose up a bit, just a touch up.
How's that?
We're back at, we've kept on going down, so what we've done is done the great. So it's a little bit up. I'm just looking where they're at. It's going to be about there. Don't let it go much back. That's not be a tiny bit up. So it'll be about that. Yeah, it's about there now, because we've dropped down again. So you've got about the right area. Yeah?
Okay.
After all that, all I need to do now is keep on going right a little bit, but get low level. So I want to see how low you can go.
Is this a good right or a bit more right?
Just, that's okay.
Yeah. That's right.
Let's see how low you can get.
Do you ever get any like ice clips in the RAF in here? Dunes and stuff?
Yeah, we've had just straighten up right away now in the turn. Go as low as you, so you can keep going down if you like. Yes, we do. I've had ex-Vulcan pilots in here. That's pretty cool. I've actually had a helicopter training instructor who brings in here. He did really well.
Nice. That's been pretty fun to like follow the Vulcan pilots as well.
Yeah, well, it's quite interesting that they're all very old, of course. Bear in mind, they're all very old.
Yeah.
So they do miss out on a few things. So I'm still having to pick them up on stuff, but they soon get the hang of it. See it coming back.
It's pretty cool. It must be really nice having them in here.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had all sorts of different people in.
hilly here. Do you reckon it would be quite hard to go any lower?
No, if you choose your path, you can go lower.
So I'm trying to think if that one there, the valley kind of, you might be able to like swing up and through.
Yes, you can. You're going to be doing really what you are doing. You're planning ahead, okay? You have to be very careful of that start. Yes, exactly. So that's not fully put what you did. You planned ahead too far without realising what there was in the middle until the last minute.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on what you're doing. But it's called being ahead of the jet. So you were right by saying yes, you could have pulled up through it. That was perfect. That's quite low again. It's down to 60 feet now. But the thought process was absolutely fine.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like think and go down.
That you are going to hit the deck. There we go. Your jumping's down an inch perfect, or you've been very lucky so far. You might want to just put it a little bit more height over.
Right. One of my traits, so I like to think I can do things very well, so I give it a go. Bear in mind, I normally can't, so like, I'll do it once then that's it.
Right, well let's give you a really hard task then, shall we? Let's go to the right, please. Do you remember those cooling towers?
Yes.
We're looking for those. Now if your brain's working overtime, I've just said you do a hard task and I've also told you cooling towers.
Oh, they really right.
Your dad went over the cooling towers.
Am I going underneath them?
You're going through them. You can't go underneath them because that would be putting a hole, but you're going to go through them. It's enough now. We'll look for them. Maybe slightly over to the left. But keep us going in a straight line. Keep us going in a straight line for a bit. Just doing a bit of a right turn to bring us out right. Okay. No. What you're doing, you sat back, and there's where you had your datum point. Now you're doing that.
Okay,
you
yeah.
now change the whole relationship between your eyes, that datum point, and the horizon.
Sure. Okay.
So it's not that you must never do that. There are obviously times when that is useful.
Yeah.
But not when trying to keep the aircraft level.
Okay.
How the heck are they? You can see them now.
Dad, can you see them?
You probably can't hear you because the engine noise comes from the back.
Okay, fair enough.
So people in the back don't tend to be able to hear very well. Keep it going, but just a little bit misty. We're not anywhere near them yet, it's just I might be expected to see them by now.
Okay,
I'm just spotting them now.
Right, so
Just off the nose to the left underneath the horizon.
Yeah.
And I don't go towards them yet though.
Okay.
The reason why I've headed you off in this direction is that we need to be a bit more to the east, to the right.
Okay.
To find the gap.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to keep going straight.
Yep.
And then we'll turn left towards them.
So I'm turn left and then swing in like that?
No. We're sort of doing that already. We're doing the swing bit already.
Okay.
The more that we go straight,
Yeah.
the more that we are opening up the gap, which will make sense
Yeah.
in a minute. You could, to elongate it, you could go to the right and then back to the left. It doesn't make any difference. It just means that the gap will open up quicker. So if you want, you go a little bit to the right. I don't mind.
Which is harder?
With hard, it will be straight on.
Harder straight on?
Yeah, because the way we're going, we're going to have quite a bit of a narrow gap to get through.
Okay. I might just swing it out to the left and the right and do that. Just I don't want to touch the brake, you know.
Like it's moving from right to left, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We don't want that to cover the gap, because that will do. So that's when it's just gently start to turn towards it now. So we maintain that gap. And what I'm going to do is, see the bank we're in now?
Yep.
We're going to have to go through on this level of bank.
Okay.
Okay? We might not continue on it, we are going to straighten up towards the gap. But when I say 3, 2, 1 bank at the bank, you will go into this level of bank. Okay. But you are going to straighten up almost immediately, so don't bother about pulling back. Okay. Straighten the gap now. Let the aircraft come down to 200 feet. So aim straight at the gap. Okay, that'll do it at height. 200 feet. That's height. That's enough. That's enough, because we're going to go a bit low again. So straighten the gap. We're a touch to the right at the moment. Just gently touch the left. Just gently let the aircraft go to the right a bit. Very good to the right a touch. That's enough. We'll go to the left bank in a minute. You ready? No, not anymore. 3, 2, 1, left bank. And straight. You didn't go quite enough bank.
Did we make it or not?
I'm not sure.
I'm not.
I'm not sure, because we have got a little bit of leeway on the wings, have we, in the simulator?
Okay.
So even if we didn't, it was very close. It's because you ended up at the right angle, but you went bump, bump. Okay. And that bump is the point when we went through, and then we were through. Sure. Okay. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Without a doubt. Pretty good.
First time.
Exactly, for the first time. Same again to the coastline and turn right. But again, you want to be ahead of the jet.
Yeah. So I've got the valley coming up, so I want to go around.
Yeah, we'll be ahead of the jet. You're going to turn right up the coast.
Right, that turn right to the point of here.
You need to turn right before you get there.
Yeah.
So wherever you do it, it needs to be before. So if you wait till we get to the coast, we'll be elsewhere before we return.
Okay. Very good. Oh, there are like castles.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of things. It's quite cool. I even saw a sheep in the Lake District once.
Oh, that's really neat. How realistic.
I've never seen one sheep in the Lake District, which is quite unrealistic.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there was a sheep. Fortunately, I was flying myself at the time, so I could actually get quite down low to have a look. Yeah. But is that a sheep or a cow?
That's crazy.
Okay, so remember what I said? So you're in the right. try the low level that we did with your dad, but now we're over water.
Okay.
We level up quite nicely, so let the aircraft come down. The aircraft just beginning, not really descending at the moment, so we're slowly coming to level 5 here. We're coming down again now. Just keep it gentle, no more than that. Okay, listen. 350, 300, 250, 220, 200, 180, 160, 150, 140, 120, 100, 80, 60, hold it, no more than that, hold it there if you can, 60, rising 70, 80, 100, 120, 40, yes, still rising, 160, more than that, 170, 180, try to hold it if you can next time. Take it to 100, so we've got a bit more leeway. Keep it coming down, try and hold it at 100. 140. We're going down slowly. Really slowly. 120. 110.
Oh, that's what I said there.
100. 90. 80. 70, back to 80, 90, 110, 20, 40.
Jeez, this is actually so hard learning.
120, 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50.
Yeah, that's hard.
Hard work, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay. One last go, so we'll do something else.
One last go, yeah, is that right?
Yeah, it's your flight.
Cheers.
160, 150, 120, 100, 190, 860, 40, gonna hit the water any second. 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40,
My God. That's hard. It's like trying to find the right balance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just,
yeah, absolutely. Right then, let us turn around and climb anyway. And you're going to climb what you need.
10 on 10.
Yeah, but what do you need first?
Horizon.
Do you drive?
Yes.
Do you drive?
Yeah, yeah.
What would you do if you're going up the hill?
Put it into a different gear. Of course, okay.
Put more thrust on.
Yeah. Can I just put the thrust on, or do I need to be level for that?
No, thrust on. Thrust on's fine. Remember, it was a bit of a right turn at the same time.
Oh, yes.
Which I'm fine. What you did was perfectly correct.
Yeah.
So that was good, but I'm going to want you in a right turn.
Okay. What do each of these different dots mean around here? So, because you've got the big circle and then the little ones here, right?
It's to do with, let me just go behind it for a second. And I will tell you in a second. You can start the turn now. I will tell you that in a second. Although I'm about to ask you a question,
Okay.
of which I am 99.9% sure I know the answer. Okay. Would you like to do a couple of aerobatic maneuvers?
I would love to do a couple of that one. I think
Keep on climbing then, that's fine. We're aiming at about 20,000 feet.
Okay.
Still with rates of climb, rates of turn, I think the turn rate of 1, turn rate of 2, turn rate of 3.
Okay. So, well, I'm guessing 3 steepness, that makes sense. Okay.
And this works in a similar way as well. This is the rudder with it, but again, we're not really going to use those.
That's fine. What about that one? I've not seen that one move yet.
This is nothing that we will be using, not to do with navigational aids, which we're not using.
Okay, fair enough. That's, yeah.
These are all the four engines, 1, 2, 3, 4. With the different things. This is the temperature, this is the percentage RPM, and this is the oil pressure. You can level off in that. Yeah, leave it going. Actually, you read already have, yeah. Just go for touch mode, right, so you want to go over 20,000 feet. I quickly looked at the height, and thought if you're still climbing at 10%, by the time you've leveled off, you'd be over 20,000. But so only then I realised that actually you were already levelling off. So now you can level off. Yeah. You see, you've sneaked off into a right. So level off now. Level off. 50 back. Let's do that for you. Okay. The first one we're going to do is a loop. Okay. I'm going to give you two options as to how to do this, and by that means to how you get to know how to do it. Okay. So first option is that I can do one, talk us through it, and then talk you through yours. Okay. Option two is I can tell you how to do it, and then talk you through yours. Option two? Yeah, you might. Alright, just bring those up. Okay, the one thing I do have to do is just take control for a second. Right, what you do first is you throttle up, and then you put the nose down to approximately that, no more than that, and stop it. Okay, right? I'm just going to bring the nose back up again so we're not descending. Sure. Right, so you have control again of the aircraft now. Thank you. The next thing is we're going to wait for this to come down to 350 knots. Okay. So that's at 300 now, so that hand would come down even more. Okay. To 350 knots. At 350 knots, we're going to pull all the way back. Now remember what I said? That bang hard. Yeah. But you are going to come all the way back. Okay. At that point, you're going to look out your side window. You're going to watch the horizon go through the vertical, and then you're going to watch it be completely inverted. Okay. That's inverted. You're going to bring the throttles back to this point. Okay. Nothing else will look out the front. Okay. So look out the front, the throttles out to this point, but you're still going to be pulling back. Okay. Don't let the nose go down. Yeah. That's about 2,000. Just keep the nose back up. You can let it gently climb if you want. And then you're waiting for the horizon to appear. When the horizon appears, that's when you release that back pressure to stop the nose from going back over into a second loop. Okay. Sounds simple. Yeah. So guys. Well, the first thing you need to do is do exactly what you've done at this point to get the aircraft nice and straight, wings are level. We can't see the horizon. So click, actually you were when I said. So click glasses to get that over. So we don't see the horizon now. So you ready? Yes. Okay. Throttle up and nose down. So up, nose down. Get your hand on the throttle. Hands on the throttle. 3, 2, 1, pull back all the way, looking outside window now. We went into this in a bit of a turn, so we'll keep your fingers crossed. Watch the horizon. We are now vertical. Wait for us to go round so we are inverted, and then what we're going to do is throttle back halfway, look out the front. No, we're pulling back. It puts into a vertical dive then. Keep it coming round, wait. Watch the scary ground, there's your contrail you've just made. Oh, nice. There's the horizon, don't let it go past. That's it, yeah. Good. Yeah. Right up. There you go. There you go. That's sick. Okay. Now, would you... We're slowly getting short of time. We need to ask the question now. We've got half an hour in total. Okay. You haven't done any low-level flying, and we haven't done Moscow. You would definitely do Moscow. Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, you haven't got time for another loop, but you have got quick time for a roll. Okay. And I need to do it first. That's right. Okay? So I've got control, because you'll understand why I need to do it first in a minute. Okay. Just slowing the aircraft down, because you need to be a lot slower. That's right. For this. Slightly up, okay. Then all the way over. We wait for the horizon to go vertical. Once it's vertical, we push all the way in. We wait for the horizon to come round all the way to the other vertical. As soon as we're at the other vertical, we pull all the way out. We wait, and then we recover the aircraft. Now, see what I mean about the recovery aircraft is a fraction of a second. Yeah. There's no way I can talk you through that live. Sure, that's fine. So, The way that we do this is that I'll keep control of the aircraft. You're going to do this left or right handed?
Left-handed.
You're going to do a left or a right back?
What do you mean?
Left or right? Which
I'll
one?
go right, please.
Okay, alright. Now watch my hand. When I say all the way over, literally all the way over.
Okay.
Nothing more. To the stop. Not hard again, like before. When we see the horizon at the vertical, I'll say all the way in. You simply go all the way in to the stop. Again, dead easy. It's just flying by numbers at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll wait for the horizon to come back the other way vertical. At that point I'll say all the way out. We come all the way out. Again to the stop. Again not hard either way.
Yeah.
Flying by numbers. So only when I say recover the aircraft that you have to be doing it to the horizon. So what you'll be doing is you'll be going in and across relative to the horizon.
Yeah.
Can't help me with at that point, it's way too late.
Okay,
As soon as the words out of my mouth, it's too late.
Yeah.
Alright?
Sorry.
So we are okay at the moment. Attitude's fine. Bring the nose down a little bit, slow. I don't want to increase the thrust too much. Just a little bit. Just going to get the speed right for you. Get the aircraft nice and straight. So a little bit of a right turn at the moment. Nose ups, and then go nose up, and then go nose up. We're still going down at the moment. Then go nose up. Okay, then all the way over, all the way in. Wait for it. 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 All the way out. All the way out. All the way. Recover. Not too bad, but what you didn't come all the way out.
Yeah, I need to get a bit more with it.
You've got to be, it's not, and I know why you did it, because I was telling you not to do it hard.
Yeah,
so I expected that, because that's what tends to happen. So, on the aircraft. Do you want to do that one more time?
Yeah, go on, that was alright, thank you.
Okay, so get yourself nice and straight and level again, get my nose up. So slow the aircraft down. You need to go to the left and right. Ready?
Yes.
All the way over. All the way in. All the way out. And cover. Not too bad. Still in a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
Still in a bit of a turn. Right, we're going to have to...
That's fine, let's go.
we head down to the lakes and land. We're alright, but I'm just giving you time low level.
Right, that's fine, thank you.
What we can do, either I can try and talk you through a wing over if you want. You might crash. I can talk you through a wing over if you want.
Which one's the wing over?
You go up, slow, get the nose over and bring it down. What I tried to do with the down and takeoff, it wasn't right.
Give it a go, yeah.
So we're going. What you want to do is throttle all the way back, pitch the nose up.
Back as in like literally
All the way up, pitch the nose all the way up. So it's vertical, look outside. That's enough, don't let the nose go over anymore. Okay, all the way over to the left, and to the right, all the way in and to the left, in and to the left. Throttles all the way up, throttles all the way up, all the way up. Watch for the horizon coming round. Watch for the horizon coming at you. Watch it coming down. Let the aircraft nose, let it dip down, let it dip down, let it dip down. Now straighten the aircraft up, keep it going down. Get some speed up. Let the speed lead it, let the speed recover, let the speed come up, let the speed come up. Get ready to pull back. Get ready to pull back. We're pulling back now. And get the aircraft back into level flight. Take the thrust off. Not all the way, back to vertical. There you go, just in the window.
That's alright. I thought that was fun.
Did that. Face dipped. Down, round, down, and then recover it. Nice. That's fun. Alright, then let's get back into the Lake District thing. We're probably going to have to land actually. That's all right with that?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Okay, so left turn and descend. We're out that coastline, you see. We haven't got them, they should be able to see that hill through the outside window. You see it?
Was it the white one there?
I can't because there's too much of the aircraft in the way.
Okay, fair enough.
To keep the aircraft around relatively tightly, you know, quite a tight turn. And don't worry too much about the height. You don't need to maintain, you can let the aircraft bleed a bit of height off, not much, but a bit. Keep it coming down. You want to look at that coastline and come in.
Okay.
Parallel to it. Keep it coming round. See how the coastline, there's like a point over there. The coastline does a bit of a left turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be, it's that section of coastline we're following.
Okay.
Parallel to.
So I need to parallel turn all the time.
Yeah, you do. And there's that hill coming up, you see. It's a bit difficult to see at this height. Strain the wings up now, then you'll be able to see a little bit more. Strain the wings up. Oh, there's the hill, you see? Over there.
Oh yeah.
See over there?
I see it, yeah.
So it's just to straighten the wings up, find your way you're going, now you've got an idea.
Okay.
Now you're going to let the aircraft get down too low. So get this nose up with it now. So there's that, the coastline.
Sure.
Remember, over the top of the hill, up whilst running parallel with the coastline.
Yeah.
All that's doing is getting you into a reasonable position for that runway that we saw.
Nice.
It's like the first point.
Yeah.
Once we get close to the hill, we ignore it.
Okay. Have you ever taken, I've heard there's the tightest runway in the world. Have you ever taken anybody up that?
What are we talking about?
Maybe not in Gibraltar, but I know Gibraltar one's quite.
I mean, this is pretty short, I have to say. This one's pretty short.
Just give it a go.
I use this one because the aircraft is spectacularly difficult to land. And I mean really spectacularly difficult to land. And the difficulty is, from here, it takes us 10 minutes from the lakes to land.
Okay.
But we need to add another 10 minutes to get to a longer runway.
Okay.
So it's boring, straight 10 minutes flight.
Sure.
On a 60-minute flight, I think that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Time.
Yeah.
And actually, it's probably nearer a fifth time flying because of the talking before that.
Yeah, of course.
So because the chances of anybody landing this perfectly are infinitesimal, I suggest to people I give them two options. I say I can lay it out or I can lay it out for you. Chances of you landing this difficult, we can go for longer landing, but we're losing 10 minutes of low level flying. Even for other things. And 95%, 96% of people will go for the short runway.
It's more fun.
Keep this out. You come down really quite low. So it actually would probably be a good idea just to try and get a bit of height whilst trying to remember where that hill is. Right? Because you will lose sight of it by going nose up. But keep a mental picture of where it is. Even if you can climb slightly, keep it in sight, all the better. Because of course in a minute you are going to have to turn left, which means you will see it even climbing. Because of course it will do that, so you'll see more, you'll see at the top. Once if you can still see it,
Not at the moment, but I think the bank will be able to see it.
I would put the aircraft in a very slight left bank now, slowly until you can see it, and then you can judge it. You got it? Alright. And level off. Get the nose down so we're level enough. Still going up at 4,000 feet a minute, right? So I need to get that nose down. So make sure it's at the stop. At the stop. There we go. Now you see it's coming down. So level. Right, there's the island. Forget the hill. So for a little bit far to the right. So you're aiming for that island. Remember to did you watch the landing?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you have a better chance. We're still bearing right at the moment. So let's bring the aircraft over to the left because we're still too far to the right and well, when I started that sentence we were still turning right. We are. So the runway, if you remember, is relatively central to that wide patch. So you need to come over. It is a touch to the right of centre. And what I'm going to do, let your dad up in my seat. What do you do, let's go. takeoff before was excellent.
When did you take off? Then you know everything else.
You're going to have to be able to steer well.
That's right.
I'll let you choose. You don't steer well because clearly we've got the trying to hit red square.
Yeah.
So it's quite, it's fairly tight.
Okay. That's right. So we can see how
You sort it out between you as much as your father's relationship with them. Can you see the pappies?
Yeah,
And now can you see the runway next to it?
Yeah, it's right above the
It's running bottom left to top right. isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
So you need to let the aircraft come over that way to come back, just like you did with the towers.
Okay.
Yeah. What you need to imagine now is that runway is an alleyway
Okay.
with a wall either side of it.
Yeah.
So this is where that driving the car is. The
Yeah.
only way of doing that is to do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Swing round and go straight at it.
Yeah.
The moment you've got all whites, I can tell you very shortly you'll get, in fact there's a red already. So you need to bring the nose up, let the aircraft gently come round to the right so you'll go overshoot it. Let the aircraft come round a bit more, try and go straight down it. And try not to let the aircraft descend any more. If you see another red light, you need to slow the descent even more.
Okay.
You need to just keep the runway in sight. So you've overshot it a bit. We're now left of the runway. And you see by the aircraft going up, we've gone to the lights again. So you need to get that nose down. We haven't actually gone up, we've just reduced our descent rate.
Yeah. So
In essence, we've gone up against that visual glide slope.
I'm a bit too far.
You're alright, you're still high, which is good. We've time to come back round again. Just brought the other carriage down for you. Thank you. Remember that when you do hit the deck, you're going to steer with your feet.
Oh yes.
Just before, sorry to interrupt, that's all right. Just before we get to touchdown, you're going to bring the control pan back just a couple of millimetres, just to make the nose ever so slightly raised.
Okay.
Okay. Straight towards it, don't let the nose go down too much. So you've got 3 reds now. All 4 reds, but too low. But aim it at the runway now. Get the nose down, don't worry about it now. We're going to see what we're doing. Straight at the runway. Straight at the runway. Gentle movements from now on. Gentle movement. Let that aircraft come down. We're going to overshoot. If we don't, let it come down. No, so stop. Just gently pull back on the straight. That's enough. One more time. Steer with your feet. Get the nose down.
Oh yeah.
Just lifted the aircraft up again.
Shit.
Gonna kill them. I won't let you go through the trace.
Thank you. Gonna kill the people.
How was that?
God.
Enjoy it?
Yeah, really good. That landing's so hard, isn't it?
Not easy.
Wow.
Okay, right
Fun,
then.
though.
Malcolm,
Yes.
I'm going to trust you and your son to fly the aircraft together.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh, that could be dangerous.
If I'm honest, he could have steered it better, but it's up to you. And I will get you to over Red Square. Which runway do I want? While you're climbing up, I'll have a think. Which runway I want.
Okay.
Dad, you're the captain, so it's your
No,
choice.
you're the captain.
No, right.
I'm
It's your,
delegating to
this is your thing.
I'm first officer.
It's actually the first officer's seat.
Yeah, hey, listen, why do you think I have children? To take over from me. How do I move the seat forward?
Is it a thing on the side of it?
What does this switch here do? I notice you keep
It's
twiddling
the
with it.
speed brake.
Ah.
What that does, you remember what I told you about the throttles having, let me just change the time of day. Remember that we telling you about the throttles having a lag on them?
Yes.
Well, what that does is, it slows the aircraft down without losing the thrust.
Oh, okay.
Is it like the flaps that you see on the wings that come up?
No, flaps increase the surface area of the wing to
So
enable the aircraft to fly slower and not lose,
Okay, okay,
not lose height. Not drop out of the sky, basically.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
Right, you ready?
Why not?
See what happens.
Who's taking off?
Dad, do you want to take off? Give it
Given
a go.
that we crashed it, I would really. Oh, what is going on?
Shall I
now?
take it off then? You can fly it around.
Okay.
iPad's
Happy with
frozen
that?
You
again.
take off. Yeah, I'll get taken off.
I've taken off. So you take off.
Oh,
Don't you?
okay.
Take off.
What the hell?
You take off.
I'm gonna have to just. My
I'll be in
iPad's
it for
frozen
a-
again, of course, hasn't it? Just at the point at which I needed it. All the way through that flight, I didn't need it.
What's that?
The iPad's just frozen. It's alright.
Oh.
It takes it. It's alright. Just to, hopefully,
Does
it'll
the
just
same
come back
thing.
again in a minute.
Huh. Okay.
Remember, push it forward when we're taking off until we get to we've got
Yeah,
to push
so
all
we
the way
get to
forward.
decision and then
Yeah.
back it back. Can I have this one notch forward, please? I'm a short ass. That's better, thank
And
you.
one more.
That's good.
Are you ready then, gents?
Ready as will ever be.
Okay.
Okay, throttle up then. On the runway.
Open the hangar doors.
Climbing quite a bit again now. Don't have to climb it. You're at 3,500 feet now.
Why do we get it down to 2,000?
Well, you don't want to be up there because you're trying to see things down below.
Of
Of
course.
course, you can't see where you're going
Yeah, of course.
because you're looking at something.
Is this the
You
one
look at that,
that's
where you saw in the right direction. Red square is on the river. I think, watch the river. See that little light, the big white point, don't turn it, but see the big pointy white building?
Yeah.
And come to the right, there's a darker area, isn't there?
Yes,
And
over
there's a
there.
couple of white blobs in it.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
you'll find that is Red Square.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, the white building must be the Parliament, White House.
Yeah. If I'm taking that from the first side. Where's Vlad's house? It's Kamikaze.
Hello, Moscow.
You're missing Red Square on the right hand side.
This place just over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. 670, 680, 690, 700.
Don't worry about that. Pylon. Don't worry about the pylon a second.
Should we level up?
Don't worry. Get the nose down. Because you're going to miss Red Square. If you really goes down, you'll miss it. You've got to get the nose down. The nose is still up. You're going to miss Red Square. Almost 30 now. Now when you're turning, just get the nose down.
No sound?
You've got it.
So on your left hand. Over there. That's it. Oh, to your right, you mean, yeah.
See you.
Yes, yes, there it is.
I found great from them as well.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, that's why the winning capability is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we probably didn't get it on your video because you turned away from flip flop.
Do you reckon if I turn around like this, we might be able to get it?
I'm not sure about the time. And well, or let me give you the option. You can turn around and look for it again, but you won't have time to land.
Or is that to land it?
Let's look at Red Square again.
Look at Red Square again?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay, square.
We've tracked
You-
enough
you-
times.
Well, I'll just stop you then once you're run out of time. Is that okay,
Of course, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. Honestly, but thanks so much.
Yeah. So it is.
Oh, I'm going to fly over it. Bastard.
Are you directly over the top?
Yeah,
Over the top. Go too quickly. There you go.
So go around here.
Ah,
Let's give it one more bank, then you should be able to see it out of the window now. I reckon.
I tell you what, keep it on straight.
Yeah.
Keep it on straight. Charlie, I'm going to talk you through something.
Okay.
Let's keep it going straight for the moment. Now, you've done the loop, yes?
Yes.
Remember the loop?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to nearly do a loop.
Okay.
Right, it's called a half Cuban.
Okay.
Keep it going straight in front, keep it going straight at this point in time. We're going to go exactly the same, 350 knots. We're not going to pitch it down, obviously, because of where we are.
Sure.
We're going to get to 350 knots, we're going to pull all the way back.
Yep.
We're going to watch it in the vertical, watch it into the inverted. At the inverted,
Yeah.
we're going to do slightly different. We're still going to throttle back to at the midpoint.
Yep.
But what you're going to do is you're going to go either left or right all the way and push in
Okay.
all the way.
okay, you got
Okay.
the problem.
All right? Are you ready for that now?
Yes.
Very good speed over here. So just push the throttles up a bit.
Tosses away.
Stop roll away, I think.
Yeah.
Speed right. Yes. You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1 now. Come back all the way. Looking out your side window. Can't help you with this because I can't have the visuals.
Right. I'm going to vertical.
And we get inverted. Throttle back, push in and all the way over one way.
Full inverted jet. Inverted.
Okay, push in, all the way over, push in. Watch the horizon come round. And straight up immediately once you're round. You'll be punching straight at red square. I can see it.
Oh, it's right in front of us.
Yeah.
Do you see that? So you see where the river snakes round?
Yeah.
That's sick. There we go.
Just on half cube.
Pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Can the Vulcan actually do that?
I believe it can.
Oh, wow.
I believe it can.
That was amazing.
Yeah, Dad, we'll get it out of your window, so if we kind of come like that, then we can bank over.
Yeah, yeah. That is amazing.
It's really cool. Down a bit.
Down a bit.
Down a bit.
Down a bit. Yeah, down a bit. Down a bit. Down a bit. Right a bit. Right a bit. Up a bit. Yeah, there. Right a bit now. Right a bit. Right a bit. Down a bit.
Aim between.
Okay.
Now, you've got about 3 minutes left, so if you want to aim it straight out the edges, you can dive bomb it.
Yeah, I can dive on it. Dive over in here.
And I will pause you before you hit it. Within your photograph. If you can do it.
Yeah. Follow me.
Swing the wings up as quick as you can. I think we're a bit too close there, aren't we?
Huh.
Really?
A little bit, but still get the red square on the outside.
That will be in your photograph.
That's awesome.
Yeah, do that.
That's so good, Joe. Thank you so much.
Okay, you stay there, guys. Just undo your seats. You can see the two clips, can you? So you lift them and turn them 280 degrees
Oh, yes.
and push back, and I'll go get the camera.
That's mine.
There you go. What's this in
Oh.
here?
Do you want to sit in the captain's seat, Dad? Here you go. Now push back. There we go. Do you want to sit in the captain's seat? God.
For the photo, you might as well.
For the photo? Okay.
Yeah. There you go. That was bloody
Yeah.
Do it again. Oh, that was marvellous. What a good present.
Okay, okay. Just about that. Actually, it's a little bit.
It's a little bit too high.
It's a little bit too high.
Oh,
You could try. You ready? We'll pull back on the stick for you, not to be seated properly. Pull back all the way on the stick, and we'll see if we can do it. All right. See if the nose comes up. If, otherwise, at the moment you can't really see anything. So
No,
if you end
no,
up
it's
crashing,
fine.
you
Yeah, might as well.
I'll put you at the end of a runway if you do. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh! What happened then? It came up. Did you push
Yeah.
it?
I did push it, and then it kind of like it was going about.
Because
Is
let's
it-
see if we try again. Pull all the way back. All the way
All
back.
the way.
No, we definitely got some red there.
Oh, that's good. There you go. Kamikaze Putin's house.
It's only a very tiny bit of the picture, but you might as well have it in it. Okay, it's definitely in the picture. Just take one or two.
There we go.
Okay,
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Awesome. That's good.
That's really sweet. That.
Yeah.
Yeah. Off to you, Dad.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
Ah, that was amazing.
It was fantastic, wasn't it?
That was video.